Hello friends and welcome to our channel Indus Educare. Today we are going to see some MCQs on the constitutional law. So let's begin. Clause 4 of Article 15 has been added to the Constitution by option A, the Constitution First Amendment Act, option B, the Constitution Second Amendment Act, option C, the Constitution Fourth Amendment Act, and option D, the Constitution's Sixth Amendment Act. The correct option is option A, the Constitution First Amendment Act. Next. The state shall endeavour to secure for the citizens a uniform civil code throughout the territory of India as per option A, Article 40, option B, Article 43, option C, Article 44, and option D, Article 48. And the correct option is option B, Article 43. Next. In India, sovereignty lies with option A, the Constitution, option B, the Supreme Court, option C, the Parliament, and option D, the people. The correct option is option D, the people. Next. The Supreme Court of India formulated the doctrine of eclipse in option A, Bhikaji Narendra Tharkras versus State of MP, option B, Bashasharnath versus Income Tax Commissioner, option C, State of West Bengal versus Anwar Ali Sarkar, and option D, Maneka Gandhi versus Union of India. The correct option is option D, Maneka Gandhi versus Union of India. Next. The satisfaction of the President means the satisfaction of the Council of Ministers and not his personal satisfaction. Held in option A, Shamsher Singh versus State of Punjab, option B, UN Rao versus Indira Gandhi, option C, Ram Jawai Kapoor versus State of Punjab, option D, Sardar Lal versus Union Government. The correct option is option A, Shamsher Singh versus State of Punjab. Next. The concurrent list was described as a twilight zone as it were for both the Union and the states are competent to legislate in this field without coming into conflict is stated by option A, Basu DD, option B, DC AV, option C, Pile MP, and option D, Ambedkar B. The correct option is option C, Pile MV. Next. Article 360 has been invoked option A, only one time, option B, 2 times, option C, 3 times, and option D, never invoked. And the correct option is option D, never invoked. Next. The Supreme Court held in which of the following cases that preamble is not the part of the Constitution of India? Option A, Berubari case, option B, A.K. Gopalan case, option C, Balaji case, and option D, Minerva Mills case. The correct option is option A, Berubari case. Next. Article 16 of 4A, which gives power to the state to make laws regarding reservation in favor of scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, was added by the option A, 75th Amendment to the Constitution of India, Option B, 76th Amendment to the Constitution of India. Option C, 77th Amendment to the Constitution of India. And option D, 78th Amendment to the Constitution of India. The correct option is option C, 77th Amendment to the Constitution of India. Next, the protection and improvement of environment, including forest and wildlife of the country, is option A, directive principle of state policy. Option B, fundamental national policy. Option C, fundamental duty of a citizen. And option D is both directive principles of state policy and fundamental duty of a citizen. And the correct option is option D, both directive principles of state policy and fundamental duty of a citizen. Next, originally the Supreme Court consisted of a Chief Justice and option A, 7 other judges. Option C, 12 other judges. Option C, 13 other judges. And option D, 15 other judges. The correct option is option A, 7 other judges. Next, a resolution passed under clause 1 of Article 249 shall remain in force for such period not extending option A, 3 months, option B, 6 months, option C, 9 months, and option D, 12 months. The correct option is option D, 12 months. Next, the President's rule under Article 356 of the Constitution of India remains valid in the state for maximum period of option A, 1 month, option B, 3 months, option C, 6 months, and option D, 1 year. And the correct option is option A, 1 month. Next, the power of the Parliament to amend the Constitution of India is a constituent power laid down in Article 368 by option A, 24th Amendment Act, option B, 26th Amendment Act, option C, 42nd Amendment Act, and option D, 44th Amendment Act. The correct option is option A, 24th Amendment Act. Next, social, economic, and political justice is option A, an idea enshrined in the preamble to the Constitution of India. Option B, guaranteed by fundamental rights in the Constitution of India. Option C, a directive principle of state policy taken into consideration while making enactments. And option D, guaranteed to the people by the writs issued by the High Courts and Supreme Court. The correct option is option A, an idea enshrined in the preamble to the Constitution of India. Next, without paying proper remuneration, labor taken from the prisoners is forced labor and violation of option A, Article 20 of the Constitution of India. Option B, Article 21 of the Constitution of India. Option C, Article 22 of the Constitution of India. And option D, Article 23 of the Constitution of India. The correct option is option D, Article 23 of the Constitution of India. Next, Article 51A of the Constitution of India provides for the fundamental duties of option A, citizens of India, option B, public servants, option C, all those who run public and private sectors, option D, Prime Minister and his Council of Ministers. The correct option is option A, citizens of India. Next, the appropriate writ issued by Supreme Court to quash the appointment of a person to a public office is option A, certiorari, option B, mandamus, option C, prohibition, and option D, quo warranto. And the correct option is option D, quo warranto. Next, the power of the President of India to issue an ordinance is a option A, legislative power, option B, executive power, option C, quasi-judicial power, and option D, judicial power. The correct option is option A, legislative power. Next, the jurisdiction of Supreme Court of India may be enlarged by option A, the President of India, option B, the Parliament by resolution, option C, the Parliament by law, and option D, the President in consultation with the Chief Justice of India. The correct option is option C, the Parliament by law. Next, at the first instance, the President can issue a proclamation of financial emergency for a period of option A, 15 days, option B, 2 months, option C, 1 month, and option D, 6 months. The correct option is option B, 2 months. Next, it is likely that free India may be Federal India, though in any event there would be a great deal of unitary control. This statement was made by option A, Sir Alladi Krishna Swami Iyer, option B, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, option C, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, and option D, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. The correct option is option B, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Next, judicial review in the Constitution of India is based on option A, precedents and conventions, option B, rule of law, option C, due process of law, and option D, procedure established by law. The correct option is option D, procedure established by law. Next, the Constitution of India embodies the parliamentary form of government because option A, the Council of Ministers is collectively responsible to the Lok Sabha. Option B, the Council of Ministers is responsible to Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Option C, the President, the head of the executive, is answerable to Parliament. And option D, the Prime Minister, the head of the Cabinet, is accountable to Parliament. The correct option is option A, the Council of Ministers is collectively responsible to the Lok Sabha. Next, the Supreme Court held that Election Commissioner cannot be placed on par with the Chief Election Commissioner in terms of the power and authority in the following case. Option A, S.S. Dhanoa versus Union of India. Option B, T.N. Session versus Union of India. Option C, A.C. Jose versus Sivan Pillai. And option D, Venkatachalam versus A. Swamichan. And the correct option is option A, S.S. Dhanoa versus Union of India. Next, the maximum interval between the two sessions of each House of Parliament is option A, 3 months, option B, 4 months, option C, 5 months, and option D, 6 months. The correct option is option D, 6 months. Next, the Supreme Court observed that parliamentary proceedings are not subject to fundamental rights in the following case. Option A, Keshav Singh versus Speaker, UP Assembly. Option B, Gunapati versus Habibul Hassan. Option C, MSM Sharma versus Sri Krishna Sinha. And option D, State of Punjab versus Satpal Dung. The correct option is option C, MSM Sharma versus Sri Krishna Sinha. Next, for the purpose of creating a new state in India, an amendment to the Constitution of India must be passed by option A, two-thirds majority of the members of both houses of parliament present and voting. Option B, two-thirds majority of the members of both houses of parliament and ratification by not less than two-thirds majority of the states. Option C, a simple majority in parliament and ratification by not less than half of the states. And option D is a simple majority by the parliament. The correct option is option D, a simple majority by the parliament. Next, the word secular was added in the preamble to the Constitution of India by option A, First Amendment Act, option B, Seventh Amendment Act, option C, 42nd Amendment Act, and option D, 44th Amendment Act. The correct option is option C, 42nd Amendment Act. Next, Article 15 of 1 prohibits discrimination against any citizen on the grounds of option A, religion, race and caste only. Option B, religion, caste and sex only. Option C, religion, caste, sex and place of birth only. And option D, religion, race, caste, sex, place of birth or any of them. The correct option is option D, religion, race, caste, sex, place of birth or any of them. Next, which provision of the Constitution imposes a duty on the Union to ensure that the government of every state is carrying on in accordance with the provisions of the Constitution? Option A, Article 352. Option B, Article 355. Option C, Article 356. And option D, Article 360. The correct option is option B, Article 355. Next, right to life under Article 21 of the Constitution does not include right to die. This observation was made by the Supreme Court in option A, P. Rathinam versus Union of India. Option B, Gyan Kaur versus State of Punjab. Option C, both option A and option B above. And option D, none of the above. The correct option is option B, Gyan Kaur versus State of Punjab. Next, a judge of the Supreme Court can be removed from his office on the grounds of option A, proved misbehavior or incapacity. Option B, violation of the Constitution. Option C, both option A and option B above. And option D, none of the above. The correct option is option A, proved a misbehavior or incapacity. Next, Parliament has power to legislate with respect to a matter in the state list provided it is in the option A, public interest, option B, national interest, option C, both option A and option B above, and option D, none of them. The correct option is option B, national interest. Next, the Chief Election Commissioner can be removed from his office under Article option A 125, option B 352, option C 226, and option D 324. And the correct option is option D 324. Next, in preamble of Constitution of India, justice is option A social, political and economic, option B social and economic, option C social and political, and option D none of the above. And the correct option is option A social, political and economic. Next, how many fundamental rights have been provided by the Constitution of India? Option A 8, option B 9, option C 5, and option D 6. The correct option is option D 6. Next, the foundation of the Finance Commission is laid down under which of the given articles? Option A Article 202, option B Article 280, option C Article 263, and option D Article 231. The correct option is option B Article 280. Next, who among the given has the right to summon the Parliament? Option A Prime Minister, option B President, option C Speaker of Rajya Sabha, and option D Vice President. The correct option is option B President. Next, habeas corpus is associated with which of the given part of the Indian Constitution? Option A Preamble, option B Fundamental Rights, option C Directive Principles of the State Policy, and option D Fundamental Duties. The correct option is option B Fundamental Rights. Next, what does the 10th schedule of the Indian Constitution contain? Option A provisions relating to disqualification on the ground of defection, option B administration and control of tribal areas of northeastern states, option C powers, authority and responsibility of municipalities, and option D administration and control scheduled areas and scheduled tribes. The correct option is option A provisions relating to disqualification on the ground of defection. Next, the doctrine of basic structure was evolved in which of the given case? Option A Madhav Jivaji Rao Scindia case, option B Keshavanand Bharati case, option C Champakam Dorai Rajan case, option D Golaknath case. The correct option is option B Keshavanand Bharati case. Next, the Code of Criminal Procedure was coming into existence on option A 26 January 1946, option B 1 March 1973, option C 24 April 1955, and option D 1 April 1974. The correct option is option D 1 April 1974. Next, which of the given articles of the Indian Constitution deals with National Commission for Scheduled Castes? Option A Article 343, option B Article 355, option C Article 338, and option D Article 333. The correct option is option C Article 338. Next, which of the given articles of the Indian Constitution empowers the High Court to issue writs? Option A, Article 223. Option B, Article 229. Option C, Article 232. And option D, Article 226. And the correct option is option D, Article 226. Next, which of the given article of the Indian Constitution the provision of Election Commission is mentioned? Option A, Article 320. Option B, Article 324. Option C, Article 330. And option D, Article 336. The correct option is option B, Article 324. Next, the power of the President of India to issue an ordinance is option A, legislative power. Option B, executive power. Option C, quasi-judicial power. And option D, judicial power. The correct option is option A, legislative power. Next, which among the following is not true about State Legislative Council in India? Option A, the council is a permanent house and one-third of the members retire in 2 years. Option B, members of local bodies elect one-third of the total number of members of the Legislative Council. Option C, if a state legislative council is to be created or abolished, a resolution to that effect is to be first passed by the state legislature by a two-third majority. And option D, none of the above. The correct option is option A. The council is a permanent house and one-third of the members retire in 2 years. Next, who appoints the State Election Commissioner? Option A, President. Option B, Parliament. Option C, Governor. And option D, State Legislature. The correct option is option C, Governor. Next, the Parliament can create new All India services under which article of the Constitution of India? Option A, Article 115. Option B, Article 300. Option C, Article 312. And option D, Article 320. The correct option is option C, Article 312. Next, which article of the Directive Principles of State Policy promotes the formation of cooperative societies? Option A, 39B. Option B, Article 43B. Option C, Article 44. And option D, Article 45. The correct option is option B, Article 43B. Thank you friends, and good luck for your better future.